Hello, I'm Annette Stanton. I hope you're having a fabulous day. Today, I want to talk about stepping into the unknown and being courageous to continue trusting that instinctual knowing. So, what does that mean? That's, you know, when you're in a transitional phase, there might be whether it's through something, whether you've been made redundant or whether you've moved or a relationship has changed or a career path has evolved. It's really when in that uh, middle of the muddle and wondering where to from here, there may be something that is calling you. And a lot of the times, what I find in working with thousands of people throughout the world, they always tell me that there's something deep inside that they know that they want to do, yet are fearful of stepping into that unknown. And this is where we can have a lot of our own inner critic, um, challenging our own ability to move forward in trusting our own potential, in even at times not having the know-how to how to move forward in whatever it is, whether you want to write a book, whether you want to create a business, whether you want to step into a totally new career path, or even move into a new country. So I work with a lot of people in different cultures as well who have moved country. So trusting in that moment can be very scary. And I've heard this saying often said, it's being comfortable with the uncomfortable. And the more I've looked into that, the more I've identified it is actually the unknown. When you're sitting in the unknown and you are able to trust your instinctual knowing, the deep inner calling inside, even if you don't know what that fully looks like yet, but you'll have a sense of something. And it always starts with one small step. And you have a strong inner sense of, I just know I need to move in this direction. I may not have all the steps lined up. I may not have the full vision yet of what that looks like. Yeah. And yes, it's scary. Yet, to step back into the old, there can be a sense of, I can either do that or I can trust and step into the unknown and courageously move forward and see where that goes. Pretty scary. So it's how do you then sit inside of that? Well, then it's listening in and consistently taking the next inspired step. So one of the things that I truly learnt was a term called progress, not perfection. And I also added with patience because I'm a very impatient person. So what I identified by that was that every little step I take is a progression towards the actualization of my bigger picture. I'll say that again. With every little step I take is always a progression towards the actualization of my bigger picture. Even if you just take the next step, there will always be a knowing of the next step once you're inside of that or beyond that. It's having the patience, which is what I needed to add to myself talk, of trusting in divine time as to when the next step is going to appear and what that is. But as I trusted and asked the question, what is calling me now? What is calling me now? Which is my next inspired step? And then you feel it. You have an inner body intelligence that is guiding you every step of the way. The question I have for you is, are you listening and are you connecting with that? So this is something that I'm very passionate about because I can tell you that when I was in stages of feeling uncomfortable with, getting comfortable with feeling the uncomfortable, which now I've transcended that term into feeling the space and trusting the next inspired step in divine time without wanting to fill the space up. So it's surrendering and allowing into the space. And then you'll hear the clarity of your inner voice, your inner knowing, and the next step, which then creates a momentum, a trusting, a courageousness that has you step into your creative potential. So that is the benefit of trusting, stepping into the unknown, courageously trusting the instinctual knowing, and taking the next inspired step. So that is my challenge to you. Practice that throughout the day. Create some space to be able to feel the energy and vibration and listen in by asking the question, what is my next inspired step? Yeah. And then the thing is then not counteracting that, not overriding that. So if your next inspired step says, I just want to relax and take a moment to reflect, or I'm just going to go and make myself a cup of coffee. Now, you'll know the difference between whether you're avoiding something because you'll feel it. Now, it's not about avoiding anything. It's about tuning in and listening in because it's like your body will draw you towards that. Now, if your head says, no, I don't have time for that, I should be doing this, then you're not listening into your inner guidance. You're not honoring it by taking the action because the action will actually add up to your inspirational vision and the clarity of that. And then the know-how will come from there. So if that's something you're interested in finding out a little bit more about, then I'd be happy to have a conversation with you. Please feel free to contact me. My name is Anat Stanton. Thank you for tuning in, and bye for now.